Hi there, Dave with Crandall Office, and today we're going to be taking a closer look at the Steelcase gesture headrest, the Steelcase leap headrest, how they compare, how they contrast, and which one might be best for you. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, so let's first take a look at the Steelcase V2 Leap headrest. And as you can see, this headrest is attached to the frame of the chair. It's actually attached down here at the bolts here. It actually wraps over the back and then has only a vertical height adjustment. So you can slide this up and down. You can see that as it goes up and down, it does have a little bit of an arc pattern, so it does push out further when you have it at the topmost position. So you can see there's not a ton of adjustment, still a good headrest, a lot of good padding in this headrest as well. It's a very thick pad, provides a lot of comfort. So now when we take a look at the gesture headrest, we can see that there's quite a bit more adjustment. So this really folds up and down. You've got a vertical adjustment beyond as well. So you can really kind of fine tune where this hits you exactly. There's really almost endless and limitless adjustments. You can even flip it over the back and have it kind of pushed out of the way here too. So a lot more adjustment on the gesture, but wanted to give you a closer look at the adjustment range of each of these headrests. So when we look at adjustment range, first thing we'll take a look at is the vertical height adjustment range, just because that's the only adjustment here on the leap chair. So we're going to have this at the lowest position, and we'll put this one at the lowest position too. You can see that they both get into a pretty low position here. The gesture, if you fold this down, does get quite a bit lower, but it sticks out further as you do that. But it does go lower if you need it. Whereas if we go on the upward position, we're going to go all the way up on the leap, and we'll go all the way up on the gesture. And you see that the gesture goes up a little bit higher than the leap chair headrest here at its highest position. Again, that doesn't take into account the forward and back movement at all. That's just the height that we're looking at right now. All right, so when we take a look at the front to back adjustment on this headrest, we're going to see that the leap chair does not have a ton of adjustment front to back. It's only going to be what you receive from going up and down. As you can see, that's on an arc, so it's a little bit further out at its topmost position than at the bottommost position. Whereas the gesture has a ton of different pivot and forward. You can see just how forward you can get on this headrest. You can even adjust that upwards. So you've got a lot of horizontal adjustment that you can push into your neck here, even at a standing or sitting upright position versus a leaning back position. A ton more adjustment here on the gesture. You can just see how much we've got here. We can really move this around and really kind of fine tune it, whereas this is more of a, it just has a little bit of a up and down, a little bit of front to back. It will help a lot more if you're leaning back in the chair versus being able to position this on the gesture when you're in a more upright sitting position and supporting your neck area. All right, so the next thing we did want to touch on is going to be the price of these headrests. So currently, as of this video, the price to add a headrest to a leap chair is about $166, whereas the price to add a headrest to a gesture chair is in the neighborhood of $220. So you are paying a little bit more for the gesture headrest. However, I do believe that you're getting a little bit more for that money. It's a little bit more adjustable. It just supports you a little bit better. The other thing that we wanted to talk about is going to be the ability to add and remove these headrests onto these chairs after a purchase. And so as far as removal goes, the gesture headrest is not easy to remove. It's technically removable, but it'd be very difficult, and it would involve taking apart the entire back assembly, and then you'd have this big gap here. Whereas the leap is actually more removable after the fact if you ever did want to take it off the chair. You just pop the back pad off, and you'd have to remove the two bolts here, and it would come right off without much difference in the actual. You wouldn't actually have that big gap here like you would on the gesture. As far as adding these headrests to the chairs after the fact, neither of these are offered as aftermarket components at this time, at least as OEM components. So you cannot add a headrest to either the leap or the gesture when you are, if you already have a chair that you're looking to add a headrest to. So they're both going to be pretty similar in that regard, other than the leap can be a little bit more easily removed after the fact if you did want to take it off your chair. So as you can see, the gesture is a little bit more of a fully featured, a little bit more robust. It's got a lot more adjustment, a lot more support that it'll give you than the leap chair. The leap chair is more of a headrest that you're going to use more when you're leaning back in the chair. It's going to provide that support once you get into that lean back position. Whereas the gesture will provide that, but it also has the adjustment to allow you to position the headrest into a supportive position when you're in an upright sitting position, as in when you're working. So I think that the gesture is a better headrest headrest. That's not to say that the Leap is a bad headrest, but I think that if you're looking for the best headrest around, the Jester is definitely it. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. If you found it helpful, go ahead and click the like and subscribe buttons below. If you've got any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out to us on our website, crandalloffice.com, our Facebook page. Anywhere you can reach us, we're always here to help. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time. All right, so the next thing that, hold on, which one might be, bleh, so close. All right, huh? Oh, let's get
Something like that.
on that arc and curve. I got popcorn in my throat. I was trying to fight it.